Welcome, everybody. We're here. We're ready to go. What's our word today? More than meets the eye. We are more than meets the eye. How so? Well, we only see a particular amount of the light spectrum, which means whatever is beyond that spectrum, whether above it or below it, we cannot see. But, but, we do have the ability to sense it. We simply do. There's so much more to us than we have given ourselves credit for. So much more. And so sometimes we have to take a moment to appreciate who and what we are. You just simply have to do that as individuals and as a collective. You see, because we don't see certain things doesn't mean we don't have particular qualities. It doesn't mean we don't have them. It just means we're unaware of them. We're not conscious of them. So, what do you do? How do you develop them? You pay attention to them because they will present themselves all the time. Those sensations, those feelings, you'll sense them and you begin to develop them. The more you sense them, you say, oh, that's an interesting thing. I didn't know I could do that. What am I talking about? Well, that depends on you. You're the one who knows what your individual body feels like. You know when you go somewhere what you encounter. You know what some things feel like to you. You don't discount those things, but you observe them because you get a better sense of who you are and what you're capable of. But you see, we don't take time for that. As the Merovingian says, if we don't take time, how can we ever make time? You have to take time for that. Slow down just a little, and you'll begin to appreciate more and more things about yourself. You truly will. Nobody else can see it except for you at that moment. Things like your intuition. That's a very, very handy thing to have in a pinch. It's handy to have anywhere at any time. But you have to know that it's there in order to develop it. There's more to you than you've been led to believe. Ooh, well, your parents, for one, because they didn't know that they even had something, and their parents didn't know that they had something, and their parents didn't know that they had something either. So all this time, it's like we were walking around and living, but not quite, just below the level. You see, we go to the far reaches of space, the depths of the ocean, but we don't plumb the depths of our own spirit. We don't explore our own selves when there's so much beauty to you. Think about that. Remember correspondence as above, so below. If there's this mystery above in the heavens, and we all know there's these mysteries below in the deep waters, that tells you and that tells me that there's more to us than meets the eye. Spend some time and look for it. And here's the thing, you don't have to rummage around and try to find it. Allow it to emerge. You see what happens to us? We become distracted by mm, surviving. We become distracted by other things on the outside. Sometimes our eyes are always open. Close them for a moment. Give them a minute. And the reason I say this is because when I speak to people and I hear what they have to tell me, and I observe who they are, I'm like, but do they even know that they're capable of this? I'm listening to them. I'm like, God, they're phenomenal. How come they don't see it? And then I have to tell them something. I have to say, hey, did you know this about yourself? It's only because I'm on the outside looking in. I can see it. So that's why today the encouragement for you is to take the time to know that there's more to you and that more to you needs to be developed. It needs to be explored. It needs to be appreciated. And you need to use it. What can you use it for? Many things. It doesn't matter what you're going to use it for, but just use it because that's your gift. It's not just there to, as a decoration, it serves a purpose, and that purpose is up to you. But take the time to see the greatness within yourself. It is there because what we've done, we've looked out into the world and we can see and we know that there's other things allegedly, but there is. If there's life here, the law of correspondence tells you as above, so below. So you can safely say they have skills. Where's ours? They just had more time to develop theirs. That's why we have to take the time to develop ourselves. But what do you mean, develop myself? You have gifts on the inside. Perhaps you've not encountered them before, but that's only because there's so much going on around you that you don't see it. Take a moment to step back from everything that is going on. We do it when we go on holidays or we have a staycation. We slow down for a little bit, but that's slowing down from the outside. Slow down from the inside. Get to know who you are because there is more to you, way more to you. I woke up humming that this morning. More than meets the eye. And I was like, hey, we are, aren't we? We are. We are truly more than we think we are. We limit ourselves when we think that we're just, oh, I'm just Angela today. I'm just Angela for the past 20 something years and holding. I'm just Angela. No, you're not just. You are more than just. But take the time to see that part of yourself. As soon as I said that, I thought of Oracle Treehouse. She always says that part because this is what it is. There's so much creativity to us. I wonder why. Because we're creators. But when you don't know you have the capability or the capacity to do something, you don't do it. And then there's all of this time spent with untapped things. But as I said before, we're busy surviving, so we don't explore ourselves. At least not on that depth. So take the time. It could be 5 minutes a day to just sit and close your eyes and breathe. There's nothing to it. Just sit there and breathe. And as soon as you begin to do that, you'll begin to sense things. And no, it's nothing scary. That's like walking outside in the sunlight and you jump because you see your own shadow. You are casting the shadow. So there's nothing to fear. So if you say, well, I wonder what more I'm capable of doing. I wonder what more I'm capable of seeing. I wonder what more I'm capable of being. When you begin there, it is the most intriguing journey. Now you become the next Dr. Livingston, the explorer, you know? I know they say in Star Trek Space, the final frontier, your spirit, that's not been explored yet. At least, not to the depths that we could. Why am I telling you this? Because when you realize that there's more to you, we stop chasing things. Things. You ever wondered why they tell you these people are filthy rich, but they still feel empty? It's the same for the other side of the spectrum, for the ones who are impoverished. They still feel like they are missing something. Yes, themselves. The self cannot be filled from the outside. It can't be filled from the outside. Explore that. Explore the depths of who you are, and you'd be rather intrigued. Then you begin to put things into perspective, and then you'll know, I know what I need. And look, bam, you create it. This is why we struggle, because we don't know what we're capable of. This is why we struggle. But begin to explore and find out who you are. And your struggle, honestly, there's always going to be the human condition, but we make our way through that because we know how to. But when you don't know how to do something, that's when, the fear and the panic sets in. But when you know, I know how I can create a solution, I've got this, then we move through the world and then we don't freak out. But if you don't know, well, then, what do? We take just a few moments, whether it's as soon as you get up or as soon as you pop your eyes open in the morning. You take a couple moments, just lay there. What more is there to me? And the reason I tell you to ask the question is because you know that you always get an answer. How do I know for it? How can listen? I keep telling you. I mean, you don't remember the name of that song. I mean, you don't remember that person's name. What's the first thing you do? Man, what's that thing again? It's on the tip of my tongue. Now, what happens to you? You get the name. So it stands to reason if you ask yourself, hmm, I wonder, what more is there to me? Hmm, I wonder. You will get an answer. You will get an experience. But don't be scared. Nothing to be afraid of. That part of you that has been undiscovered and just laying dormant is most beautiful. Take the time to get to know it. Take the time to get to know it. Think about what it would do for your confidence to know, oh, I'm way more capable than I thought I was. You see, I can do this and I can do that, and it puts a pep in your step. You see, everything that you discover about yourself is meant to show you you have value. It is meant to confirm your value. When you begin to see those things on the inside of yourself, it's not, I know we think, oh, where am I going to find time for that? Oh, look, I got to meditate some more. That's not what you're doing. See, meditate is a buzzword, it's a catchphrase, it's a tag. but truthfully sitting there for those few minutes and simply saying in your own mind, I wonder what more I am capable of doing. I wonder what more I am capable of being. Well, I want to see that. And then you do it. I dare you to do it. Sometimes we want the challenge, but I hope you accept the challenge and you do it. It's not a challenge as in a hard thing to do, it's a challenge as in, oh, there's more to me? Yes, there is. But as I said before, we're so busy doing other things. We're so busy doing the mundane. And that's when I hear, Angela, yeah, self discovery is not going to pay the bills. And no, self discovery may look like it doesn't pay the bills, but self discovery will help you to navigate, to do it, so you can rise above your bills, so that the bills are below you and they get paid without you having to fret and worry and freak out about them. This is the big picture. Because you see, that's at the forefront of everybody's minds. Can you pay my bills? Pay my telephone bill? That's what everybody is thinking about. Money, money, money. But you see what happens when you're so focused there that you don't see. You don't see you. And when you don't see you, you can't reach your potential. See you, get to know you, and rise. That's the whole point. Something, I don't want to say magical, but that's the word we use. Something extraordinary happens when you do that. But I'll take my word for it. You have to practice. Practice and discover. Dora is not the only explorer. We are the explorers of our own inner depth. There's so much to see there, so much to experience. And all we have to do is commit a couple moments a day. It increases, because the intrigue sets in and you're like, oh, that is a beautiful thing. Let's take a brief moment to say hello to all of the people in the space. Hey, hey, Twitter. Ah, Blair, darling. Welcome to the space. I see you. Thank you for being here on Twitter. Twitter is part of the replay gang. Maybe they thought I forgot them today, but that's all right. Replay. Fan base. Who do we have in the space today? Triple S, Matthias, Flo Smiles, Smoking, Summer Rose, KZ, Miss McQueen, Zola. I see you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing the love. Facebook, Indy. YouTube, who's here? Oh, HH, Double H. Hello. I've not said your name before. Ties, Tidbits, I see you. Empress Ella. Walter, Cyber, the better man. Sonia. Not. I see you. And for the others who have not made themselves known, I see you also. And for the replay gang, whoop, whoop, I see you. And remember, law school is going. Anywho, take some time today. Take some time every day, just a little bit of time, because it has a cumulative effect. Just like when people come for acupuncture or cupping, and they say, well, how fast is this going to work? And I'm like, well, it's not like taking a pill, but it builds on itself every time you do it. It's cumulative. and it does things, and it shows you so much. It really does. So when you take that time to discover the more beautiful or hidden things about yourself, you begin to recognize that there's more to you. That's the whole point of today's message, to prod you into discovering the more that there is about yourself, because there is more, not because I say there is, but the law of correspondence does. As above, so below. We think that that only means the heavens and the earth. Mm-mm. That is also us. We're right in the middle, yeah? So we have our own above and our own below. So if we take the time to explore it, we will discover much about ourselves. And then when you start to do it, I want you to grasp it for a moment. Writers or artists, yeah, they have an ability to tap into something. What are they tapping into? The universal mind. Huh. You see, here's the thing. You begin to tap into the depths of your own mind, your own awareness. What more can you be aware of? That's just what it means. So, as above, so below. The all is mind. So, if there's a mind above you, where's the mind below? You, as within, so without. So, you spend the time to develop it, to see it. It has power for you to harness. The stories you write now take on a whole other dimension. Your designs take on a whole other dimension. The way you modify a space takes on a whole new dimension. When you begin to spend just an extra little bit amount of time with yourself and you discover the more that there is to you, you will find that you enhance your skills. You take it off the page. It now becomes multi-dimensional, meaning it's just bigger. You can see more of it. You become more creative on all fronts, all facets of your life. It's like discovering a mine with diamonds. Nobody thought it was there, but it is. That's what it is for you. And we discover that corner of our minds that we had not tapped into. So when I tell you that there's more to you than meets the eye, there is. But you've got to give it a moment to emerge. That's the whole point. It is a most beautiful thing. Seriously, it is. You begin to discover what you're capable of doing. Does that not intrigue you and make you want to know more about yourself? Because there's none but the self, right? There's only one consciousness. So you might as well get to know it. It's you. And when I say that there is so much more to you, I'm not just saying it because I can. I'm bored today. No, because when you discover that there's more to you, you begin to behave differently. You think differently. You transform. I knew that was going to come out of here sometime today. You transform your own life right before your own eyes. This is what you do. And then you begin to implement the new things that you've learned into your life. That's what you do. Well, I didn't know I had that in me. I didn't know I could do that. I had no idea. This is why Neville says the men who are of imagination are the ones who lead, because they're always on the cutting edge of ideas, because they spend time. They spend time in that little quiet space, and they discover things that others don't see. Can you imagine that being you? Hmm? Perhaps you're the next one to develop some new technique of doing something that mankind has never done before. But how are we going to discover that if we are running, running all the time? Whoa, slow down. So when I tell you that there's more to you, there is. There's way more to you, right? That's what I want you to discover about yourself. Look at what you have. You. Don't worry about anybody else. Everybody has their own stuff. But know this, it is all coming from one place. Oh, we have many faces, but there's only one consciousness. That's that's a little tricky sometimes to grasp. Yes. It's a little bit tricky to grasp that there's only one. There is only one. You see, because we think things are separate. We say mind, body, spirit. But you say thought, word, action. It is one motion. One motion, not three, just one. They say, oh, we live in a dual world because we have polarity. No, 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 no. There's only one thing moving. There's only one thing moving in a particular nature, in a particular way. Only one. Not many, just one. So if you spend the time to find what that one is within you, that's my point. You can go further. I'm not just talking about going further because we live in a capitalist society. That's not what I'm talking about. Going further. You see, because we think that this is all there is, but it cannot be based upon law. Every cause has an effect, every effect has a cause. So when you do something, when you create a cause, you created an effect. But that effect is going to create a cause, and then you're going to do another cause, another effect. It is always going outward, it is always expanding. It is projected out, then experience comes back. From that experience, you project outward again, and something else comes back, and you project out again. So you see, this is not all there is more. And the more is inside of you, the more is inside of me. You see, this is the beauty of the law. When you examine it, you begin to understand. You can take it from really, 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 really big and make it bite-sized. And you can take it from bite-sized, wow, and expand upon it. Because when you look at it, you know that there's more. But we think the more is out there. No, the more is in you. Because the more, when you discover it, when you come upon it, when you accept it, it is a cause. And it will create an effect for you to experience. And then it will create another cause. And you say, oh, I can do more. And you begin to expand out. See, we're not limited, you know. We only think that we are. And it's from that thought. It is the thought that creates the limitation. It is the thought that creates the limitation, or it's the thought that frees. Cyber Optimus Prime. Become your optimal self by making your primary state a lovely one. Yes. Think about that for a moment. Remember how in The Matrix, when he's fighting Agent Smith in the hallway outside room 303, I think it is? And he seems to be going in slow motion because he's come to an understanding. He has come upon a knowing. When you know something, you behave differently. You just do. When you come into the understanding that, oh my God, I don't have to be part of a rat race. Are you a rat? Hmm. Well, are you? Well, this is the thing. It's called a rat race. Well, I'm not a rat. I am Angela. So no, I don't partake in a rat race because that's not what I am. And when you begin to know that there's more to you, you create from a different level. You live from a different level. And do you not want to get there? Of course you do, because that's what we're striving for, actually. But we think it's just this earthly thing. It is not. There is more. And if, as I say, if you examine the law, you will see that there is more. There cannot be less. This is the point. You discover more as within. Now you create more. So without. Because remember, everything moves. Nothing stands still. Even if you go to the swamp, that water may appear, because there's stuff on top and scum. It looks like it's sedentary and not doing anything, but you can rest assured it is moving, just really slow. Everything moves. Everything moves. So if it's moving, it has to be growing, it has to be expanding. So that is you also. So take the time. 5 minutes a day. Most of us have watches, Apple watches. Most of us, I don't wear a watch. No, I haven't worn a watch since my primary school days and I had a Mickey Mouse watch. But set a timer. 5 minutes. Sit there and close your eyes and breathe. That's it. And you simply ask, I wonder what more there is to me. I wonder what there is. Oh, I'd love to see that. And you already know that you will get an answer because you get one every time you ask a question. Oh man, I don't remember. What is that thing? Where did I put that? And then it flashes in your mind and you go find it. And it's right where you saw it in your mind. You always get an answer. So this time will be no different. I wonder what more there is to me. I wonder what more there is to me. What new design, what new script, what new story can I bring forth? See, this is the problem. This is why they keep remaking movies. Nobody stops to think anymore to create new. And I will say it all every time. Nikola Tesla, last great mind. 150 years ago, he developed the technology for what? The phone you hold in your hand. Think about this for a moment. He just happened to be sitting there, just minding his business, and he sees electricity and he sees how to harness it. 150 years ago, and now we can plug in something with alternating current. I wonder Where that came from, he discovered more, is what I'm telling you. He discovered more. Of course, I guess it helped that he was born in a lightning storm. So it stands to reason that he would discover the electricity was always there. And he figured out how to harness it, probably because he spent time in the silence. You see, there's always tangible things. Every time you plug in something, every time you charge your phone, I want you to remember that. Remember that that came out, that idea to harness came out of just sitting still. People marveled at him because he didn't just go and build something. He only built it in the 3D when he was done making it in his mind and working out all the kinks and all the bugs. He tested it in his mind before he built it. He didn't have to experiment. He did all of that in his mind. What made him so capable? How did he know he could do it? Hmm. Because he spent some time to discover that there was more about himself. And look at how we are benefiting. Hmm. You see, that's what I mean when I say everything expands. Every cause has an effect. Because he did what he did, now look at us. Look at us. We benefit from it. So don't think for some strange reason that whatever that beautiful thing you discover is inside of you, that it will stay there. It can't. Law of gender tells you it's going to be projected outward. But you see, we want to have the patent. We want to hold it. We want to make that shmoney. Don't limit yourself. Don't put a barrier to what you are capable of doing. There's so much more to us. Allow yourselves to discover it. And when you discover it, marvel at it. And then you'll understand, now I get it. I get it. You get a glimpse of the all when you see your own mind at work. Huh, fancy that. So you see what I'm saying to you today? Anybody who invented things, where'd they get the idea? They were spending time in thought, discovering that there was more. The cotton gin, Eli Whitney, allegedly. Traffic lights. Somebody had to think about these things. Remember, the cause, the car was created, the combustion engine, right? The cause. But now you needed a way to control it. The effect, it brought about that change. But somebody had to think about it, which means you've got to take the time. 5 minutes. I wonder what more there is to me. I'm going to drive that home for you until you are intrigued by the fact that there is more to you. Think about it. We spend so much time being entertained, but that entertainment has to emerge from somebody's mind. But you see, the quality of the projection depends upon the person. Oh, let me say it again for you. The quality of the projection depends upon the person. If you just sit there with that shallowness, just skimming the top, never going deeper, then your projections will be of that level. They will not have depth to them and they'll be flaky. Projections nonetheless, creativity nonetheless, but there is more. There is more substance to us. Fun that word is interesting. Substance. There's more substance to us when we're light. So So that's what I'm saying to you today. This is why you take time to develop your character, because when you develop your character, the projections you put out into the world hold more value, more substance. There's more weight to them. And then we stop being shallow. We stop seeking, oh, look, there's entertainment, funny laugh, right? It is no laughing matter, but sometimes it can be. Because there's just some people who are really good at lifting the vibration and the mood to bring about laughter. That is a skill, right? But look at how much more there is that you can bring to your own self. And remember, it does not stay with you, it is always going to be projected outward. So when you put it out there, the content of your character will determine what you put out. Mm-hmm. Always. So spend some time. That is your encouragement today. Spend some time to discover the more that there is to you. For real. For real, real. Right? Because when you see it, as I say, you will launch yourself into the stratosphere. You will rise. You won't have a choice. That's the thing with growth. You don't know. You have no idea what you're capable of. None whatsoever. Go deeper. Rise higher. Either way, you're plumbing the depths. As above, so below. Like bamboo. Hmm? Bamboo is our friend. It goes to the depths, yes, but it also rises to the heights. But without the depth, the height will suffer because you have to be anchored. What are you anchored in? The law. David, yes, it is a skill. It is. To make someone laugh is a skill. Some people just have it naturally. And if you find that when they do spend that time, that the stuff they bring forth, it doesn't just make you laugh, right? As H says, it is thought provoking. I want you to listen to that phrase again. It is thought provoking. It is what now? Thought provoking. It provokes the mind to think, because that's what a mind does. And when the mind thinks, it expands. Well, look at your scientist. You see, the brain just had an image of the brain. When we make these neural pathways, right? They just sit one on top of the other. They just, you think about it. It's only such a size, right? The brain is just that size. But look at all the information it stores. Now look at your DNA. Same thing. It seems to be small, but when you unravel it, look at how much more vast it is. They're just sitting one on top of the other. They're stacked, they're intertwined. All of that information. So the more you think, you're adding to that. You're adding another dimension to your mind, to your thinking. And as above, so below. If you have multiple dimensions of thought in your mind, then there is multiple dimensions above you. It is correspondence. So you're constantly making a new dimension every time you think. And this is shown by way of neural pathways. Because you're laying it down every time you learn something new. You lay it down. Where does it go? It's stored right there. Think about that. You have the capacity to take on so much information and not exhaust your brain because you stack that information one on top of the other in that new neural pathway. You're making a new dimension every time. But you see, everything moves. So if you are not adding to those, right? You know, they have that saying, use it or lose it. Mm, you get what I'm saying now. Spend time in thought. I wonder, I wonder if, I wonder what, I wonder why. Spend that time and you will develop so many beautiful things about yourself. And you know, a beautiful thing happens when you do that. A beautiful thing happens when you do that. When you expand your thinking in your mind, right? See all the things, think about it. You want to let go of something? Pick up something else. Focus on learning and growing and expanding, and you will find that the things that used to cause you distress fall away. They fall away because that's not where you're focused. And because you're so busy expanding the distance between the new thing and the old thing that used to cause any kind of consternation, any kind of agitation, pain, or whatever, moves further and further away from you. Well, you're actually moving further and further away from it. And it has less influence in your life. So you see, the expanding of your thinking, the more that there is to you, serves a greater purpose than you think it does. Every cause has an effect. So if your cause is, there's more to me. Oh, let me discover this. If that's what that is, you'll get the experience to know that there's more, and another one, and another one, and another one. And then all of a sudden, you find, oh my God, you're a new person? Oh, but of course, red blood cells have the wherewithal of 120 days. That sounds familiar. 120. Get a new batch every 120 days. The scripture, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. To renew your mind, but renew. Where is my resident etymologist? Mozinga. Renew. Do it again. How do you renew the mind? New thoughts. That when I tell you that there's more to you, don't believe me. Know it. Which means you're going to experience it because then you can say, I know there's more to me. Here's what I discovered. We have to take ourselves from believing into knowing. And the way to do that, oh, 5 minutes. 5 minutes a day. Emanon, oh really? Emanon says, I'm talking to you this morning. But David, that's the thing. It comes naturally to you. You don't have to force it. You don't have to fake anything. It just comes naturally to you. Then how else should it come, David? Naturally. But if you know there's a natural, there's also a supernatural. Well, I guess now you want to be intrigued to find what the supernatural side of you is. But Hollywood has given us an idea of what supernatural is. But that means you just have to believe Hollywood. No, you need to have an experience for yourself so you know what supernatural is. That 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. I wonder. There's more to me. I wonder what it is. It's like Small children, babies just discovering they have toes. You've seen that cat video where he discovered he has paws for the first time and he sees them and he's so excited to see his paws. Or the Siberian tiger, it loves its tail. Well, if my tail looked like that, I'd love it too. It's so fluffy, you just want to play with it all the time. That's my point. You discover something new, it is, ooh, fascinating. And you implement it. And there you have it, Emanon. That's what we do. We downplay ourselves. Not because we want to, but that's what we were told to do. Don't shine too bright now. You gotta dim that shine a little bit. You don't want to offend anybody. What? You think if everybody was busy shining, that anybody would have time to be offended? Oh dear. You wouldn't have time. David, ding, 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 ding. This is true. TV programming has taken the place of how we are supposed to use our minds. I want you to remember the law of gender just for a moment. What is the law of gender? Masculine is to project the thought because you have to be conscious. The minute you have an idea, eureka, you've projected that thought outward. That is masculine. But where does it go? Into your subconscious mind, which is feminine. So, what do you think when you hear, oh, look, the projector is running in the back of the movie theater? The who, what now? The projector? Oh, so you mean it's projecting something outward? I wonder who's taking it in. You see, the law of gender, well, the law is everywhere. Everything is governed by law. The projector is projecting an image outward. And because you are sitting in that theater, you have become feminine. Your mind is being filled with something. The image that is being projected. And it has an effect on you. And then you're going to project that effect outward because every cause has its effect. You see, we are governed by law, we cannot escape it. The law is everywhere. Everywhere. So begin by being curious about your own self. You want to say, but they never really knew me. You don't know me. Do you know you? Do you know you? That's the point right here. When I say that there's more to you than meets the eye, there is. But get to know you. Get to know you. What you like, what you don't like. Yeah, but that's just the surface, but there's more. We've only begun to scratch the surface. You know the iceberg, as above, so below. The part that you can see, it might just be a little bit. But the depths, do not be deceived by the depths. There's much, much there. A not. Yes, evolve to come forth gradually into being and to develop, to undergo evolution. The energy during chemical change to transfer. Thank you for that beautiful definition, A not. To evolve, to come forth gradually. Evolution? Ah. So you see, there's more to you than meets the eye. Get a little turned on by that. What do I mean? Your curiosity's been piqued. That's what it means. You're like, really? 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 Yes. If you are not intrigued to discover more about your own self, how are you going to be intrigued to learn anything anywhere? As within, so without. You've got to be intrigued with you. Anyhow, whew, don't let me get more fired up and sweat some more. Emanon, they say I laugh things off about myself. But you see, that's what I mean when I say sometimes we take ourselves for granted. We think we just eat, sleep, work, repeat. Eat, sleep, work, repeat. That's the going thing. But that is a lie. There's more to you. You see, if we weren't earning a wage, yeah, we'd still we'd still be working. Do you know why we'd still be working? Because to discover oneself is work. You're listen, uh when you do something, it is work. You're working, you're active, you're not idle because you can't be idle. Vibration tells you you can't be. We are always working, always. So I know I've heard people say, well, if you didn't have a job, what would you do with yourself? You'd still be working. You'd still be working because that is growth. You have to work it out. You work. But we think that work means wages. It doesn't. Work means you put forth an effort. So whether that effort is for a boss or for oneself, you're always going to be working. You're never going to be idle because you cannot be. It is law. So now, instead of work, when you say work, there's a sensation that comes up with that word work. It makes you feel, right? But what if your work was to discover you? Because if you think about it, you're going to be working anyway. You're going to be working anyway, so you may as well put the work in to get to know you. And when you do that, my, don't Johnny Gill me today. But when you put the work in to get to know you, the reward. You see, the law does not punish nor does it reward. But when you discover who you are and what you are capable of doing, it feels good, doesn't it? That's the reward. You reward yourself. Reward yourself. You earned that. You put the work in. You think when I bite into that slice of the homemade bread I just popped out of the oven with the butter I made, you don't think I sit there and when I bite into it, I say, oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Of course I do that. That is my reward. The taste on my tongue is my reward. I made it. I kneaded that dough. I churned that butter. Of course. This is what I do. You're supposed to take pleasure in the fact that you put in that work and you saw the fruit of your labor. You don't work and just, that's not what you do. Take pleasure in what you do. And you'll find that when you take pleasure in what you do, you see, you take pleasure because the thing, but the pleasure doesn't come from the thing. The pleasure is the experience from what? You. So spend some time, 5 minutes. I wonder what more there is to me. Just spend 5 minutes before you get out of bed, when you get your lunch, when you go to bed. If your mind is there, energy flows where attention goes. Hmm, you're guaranteed an answer. Countdown initiated. Jeff, I see you on Twitter. I have a full battery today. I started with 100%, now we're at 66. So you see, I was on my game today. I was ready today, Jeff. So thank you for being here, my beautiful friend. It is appreciated, and I trust you found value today. And I always look forward to hearing from you. Much love to you, Jeff. Much love. And you know where you can find me on YouTube to get the last remnants of gravy from the bowl. Much love. Twitter is closed. Fanbase, I trust that today made sense for you and that you're going to take that time to get to know you and what more there is. More than meets the eye. We love that song because we love Optimus, you know. So, Daryl, um, Rayton, is that how I say it? Thank you for being here. Matthias, thank you for being here. Smoking. Summer Rose, Flo Smiles, Miss McQueen, Zola. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your time. It is appreciated. And I will see you soon. You know. Much love. 4, 3, 2. Fanbase is closed. Oh, I hope she comes over. I totally didn't even see her message. Summer Rose, it's your birthday, baby. Let me send her a message and hope she comes over. It's Summer Rose's birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. What? Hey. And I did not see the message until now. That is so bad, Angela. I have to put that in my planner, in my day timer, so I remember for next year. I know, right, Zola? Ugh. Uh, a moderator, can you pin that? That happy birthday? Because I can't. Well, wait. I might be able to do it. If one of you can do it, that's great too. Uh, I can pop into. Thank you. I can pop in there and see if I can do it. Let me see. Pin. There you go. I hope she comes over. So, Summer Rose. There she is. It's our birthday girl, Summer Rose. We are going to drop some confetti in there for our beautiful birthday girl. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you came over because I totally didn't even see the message until. Whew, there you go. Happy birthday, Summer Rose. You are a most magnificent woman. You truly are. You truly are. And I'm glad that I know you now. I'm glad. You add so much value. You truly do add so much value to this community. You do. And we appreciate you, our beautiful Summer Rose. See? It is lovely. Ah, it is so good. Ah, Sugar Visions, I see you. Ah, see, look, they all come pouring in. Good. It is always good. It adds something to us when we're recognized and we know we are confirmed in our specialness. It does. Totally beautiful. It is. So remember today, my beautiful friends, that there's so much more to us than meets the eye. So much more. I haven't said the name Synovia in quite some time. Or Brian. There's two Brians. But I trust this makes sense today. Take some time. Take some time to truly get to know yourself. Take some time, honestly. You'll be pleasantly surprised. You truly will be. Can you imagine? As soon as I said that, I had the HP commercial in my head. I'm not going to say it. But no, take that time. Truly take the time to get to know that there's more to you. Get to know the more that there is. Because the more you know about yourself, the more of it you project into the world. And remember, there's only beauty within, right? So the more beauty that you project outward into the world, hey, you know it has a far reaching effect. You know this. It really does. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I trust that you will go forth today and you will take that time to get to know the more that there is. Definitely do it. And you'll see it for yourself. You'll see it for yourself. All right, my beautiful friends. These auditions are not going to do themselves. Oh, I still have stuff to record, and I was just been like sitting there saying, "Oh, practicing my art of persistence." Let me tell you, because this is the thing with work, right? Sometimes, even though you love it, you're like, I must persist. And then I remember Agent Smith, why, Mr. Anderson, why do you persist? And I look at the script and I say to myself, because I want to. And then as soon as I pick up the mic and I hit record and I start reading, I become invigorated. So you see, persistence, my beautiful friends, has the ability to invigorate you. It won't allow you to drag yourself through it, right? It won't, because that persistence, it fires you up. And then you read the script and you're like, oh, this is nice. It's brilliant. So, yeah, I know what it's like. I get it. That's why I keep telling you I'm in the midst of you, not above you, in the midst of you. And because we're in this together and we learn together, I'm keenly aware of persistence. Because some days, as much as you love doing that thing that you do, sometimes you just want to take a break. And you're like, eh. But then when you start doing it, you're like, oh, yeah. You begin to see that there's more to you, that you're capable of doing so much more. So you see, my beautiful friends, it is a pleasure. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, life is hard. Who's the person looking through that lens, right? Who's the person looking through the lens? As I say, we all come upon challenges, don't we? You've seen the plant growing through the sidewalk. We all encounter challenges. But because you live by way of law consciously, you know when to bend, how to bend to accommodate the situation. Or you know how to modify the situation. So you see, the law sets you free. And whom the law sets free is what? Free indeed. You know this? You know it well, don't you? Anywho, my beautiful friends, go forth. Summer Rose, darling, I think that's the first time I said your name. I always sing your name, Summer Rose. You go forth, my dear darling. And that rose is so revered, you know? It is it is the symbol for love. Love. Love will keep us together, right? It's a symbol for love. So you go forth and project all of this love that you feel. Project it outward. And I wonder what beautiful things you'll encounter today on such a special day of remembering. Hmm? Yes. Go for it. Happy birthday to you. And have fun with it. I love you all. I do. 2, 1. Much, much, much love to you all. I will see you soon.